here for Red Tractor Nation. I'm here today with Mike Weigmann. He is from Breeze, Illinois, which is down in the south central part, about 45 miles east of St. Louis, right? And he has a unique setup here. These things are called Electralls. They were manufactured by IH, International Harvester, to be used on the farm or somewhere where you needed a power generator, and they're extremely portable. They were manufactured for about 5 years, from what, 54 to 59?
Right. Somewhere
in that area. And then evidently they decided they didn't really need that, and it was, what do you think, there just wasn't much, they weren't selling many of them, so they dropped that idea?
There wasn't enough call for it.
Not enough call for these, so they dropped them, but Mike has rescued how many of them?
I have 8.
Mike has rescued 8 of them, and he's going to tell us all about them. Let's start with this one right here in front of us, and tell us about this one. How is this one? This is just a pull behind. It has a hitch. And how would you run this one from what kind of takeoff? Is this a shaft drive?
This one would have a power takeoff shaft coming out of it. You hook it to your tractor. What's valuable about this one is you could hook it to an Oliver or an Allis-Chalmers, any kind of tractor, and you could make power. So this one was suitable for whatever color tractor you had.
Okay.
And that made this one probably the most popular one.
Because you could, any spline shaft you could hook to it.
You a 540 PTO.
Okay,
which
that's all you needed. And the one behind us, same thing.
This is a twin that's just unrestored.
Okay, tell me about this governor thing you could hook up here and how that works.
When this was mounted in a truck for a service truck,
like you could take this unit, mount it off into
the bed of a truck.
The bed of a truck, and go off of the truck's PTO.
Right.
And then you could make this. What did you do then?
It was belt driven off the truck PTO, and you could put a device on the end of the generator that was load sensing that would run the carburetor to keep the engine speed consistent, which is what you need to do with your
generator.
Power, yeah.
So it would keep it right at the 60 hertz that you needed all the time.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't go up and down.
Yeah.
Otherwise your machine is going to feel that.
Yeah.
And the load on the machine is, the machine will either go faster, slower, pog, whatever.
Yeah.
Probably burn it up eventually if you don't keep it at the right.
That's right.
At the right sine wave. So which one was the first one you got?
This one's the first one.
This one, the side mounted one here.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got the side mounted one. And then what did you have to do?
I didn't have the gearbox that drives it, so I couldn't do anything with it first.
Okay.
Then when I acquired the gearbox, I was able to, I had a complete kit, and I was able to put it on my tractor.
Okay. And what does it actually run off of on the tractor, the gear here? What's it connected to?
It's connected to the transmission, to the front transmission gear.
To the front transmission gear. And so that drives it. So is it an RPM you've got to set it at in order to get it to run properly?
You do. To get your 60 cycles, what you need for your power, for everything to be wonderful, you have to run that right at wide open throttle.
Okay.
To get the RPM you need.
Okay.
But at wide open throttle, you also have the power for any load you drop on it.
Okay. So you would hook this side mount. What was the most important thing about this side mount?
Well, you'd have to have the right tractor.
You have to have a tractor, and you had the right tractor.
Yeah.
And this is the tractor that you chose to put this on. This is a beautiful, beautiful W6TA tractor. It's immaculate. Don't anybody touch it. It is absolutely gorgeous. So we mounted this on this beautiful tractor.
So the tractors, the only tractors that it'll work on is the tractors of this era.
Okay, this year.
The MTA, the Farmall 400, or the 450 are the only ones it works on because
of this gear it has to go to.
It won't adapt to a different one's transmission.
Okay.
So it made this a little bit limited on where it could be used, and that's where they came out with the fast hitch mount and the 2-wheel trailer mount.
Oh.
So you could put it on.
So you could use on any tractor.
More versatile.
So they had a fast mount hitch that would go on. Anything else? Any other kind of mounts that they had besides that?
Just the truck, the side mount, the trailer, and the fast hitch. Those are the 4 they
those
used.
4 that they used.
Yeah.
And what kind of implements did they have? Did IH build their own implements to use?
They offered it as an option on a baler instead of a power takeoff shaft.
So a baler.
And that was the only one they used. It may have worked on a combine at that time too, but they never put it on the combine.
Just a baler. So this was basically side mounted to run an electric baler or anything else that you needed, but you'd probably leave the tractor stationary.
Or you could use it to power your place up if there's a power outage.
Okay.
If you had a dairy system and the power went out while you're milking your cows,
You could hook it up to this and you could finish up.
You could finish up.
That's fantastic.
Or any kind of, you could plug your power saw into it if you're fixing a fence row away from the place. You could. It runs anything single phase, 240, or 3-phase.
So, how do you? Is it listed on the plate here the maximum amount of amperage and things like that?
Yeah, it is.
Wattage that they put out.
The maximum amperage is 37.5 amps, which is 12.5 kilowatts.
Wow, that's pretty good for this small unit here.
Yeah, for back in that day.
Yeah. So, how did you get interested in the Electrall?
Well, I grew up around the red tractors on the dairy farm, so that was a given. This just looked like a unique device that I thought I could understand, and got the first one, and it evolved into this.
Wow. Who talked you into buying the first one?
My son.
So we've got him to thank for this. So
That's where it all started.
that's where it all started with the son. So you're going to do something extra special next year at the Red Power Roundup in DuQuoin, Illinois. You and a friend of yours who's also into this. Tell us what you're going to do.
We're going to put a display on at that event, and he's going to bring his collection from Minnesota, and I'm going to bring what I got, and we're going to go together and we're going to do demonstrations. He has the baler we were talking about,
Okay.
and we'll run that. It's completely operational.
Wow.
And we'll do static displays, and we'll bring power tools and hook them up, fire the tractor up, make some electric, and run some equipment, some lights, whatever, just for display. We'll probably do it like last time we did it, every hour on the hour.
Very nice, very nice. Well, Mike, thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
rescuing all these Electralls and keeping them going and bringing this beautiful W6 here to show us today. Fantastic tractor, fantastic small, short section piece of history from IH that's been preserved. And thank you very much for what you're going to do for us next year at Red Power Roundup 2021 in DuQuoin, Illinois.
Stop by if you can.
I will. Well, you definitely know I'm going to be there. This is Ed Holmes for Red Tractor Nation. Thanks for watching.